Alive Network, and we got a whole bunch of people here at El Patron Restaurant that are enjoying some fantastic Mexican food tonight. If you are anywhere out in the city and you want to come by and join us, there's still room for you. You can get into Go Lions here and there. We'll let you come by. You're listening to the Coach J.B. Wallace Show. We'll be right back after this break.
Hey guys, it's Chris Britton, host of the Coach J.B. Wallace Show. We're so excited to be coming to you.
Durbin Auto Parts on South Memorial Drive is proud to be a supporter of Prattville Lions Athletics. As your locally owned CarQuest dealer, the Durbin family assures you that they'll get the right parts the first time. They also carry the full line of steel power equipment and die-hard batteries. When you do business with Durbin Auto Parts, your money stays in Prattville so they can support the local community and great programs like Prattville Lions Athletics. Durbin Auto Parts, 948 South Memorial Drive, Prattville.
Think local. Think of all the skill and talent found right here in our community. Hands that build, hands that feed, teach, protect, and hands that heal. Guardian Credit Union reaches out to people just like you. Handling loans for new cars, opening doors to new homes, saying yes to fun and adventure. When you need a strong, steady financial hand, think local. Think Guardian.
It's the Make This the Summer event at Stivers and no payments until November. New Ram 2500s, $20,000 off. Or new Ram 1500 Bighorns, get $13,000 off. Only at
Stivers, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, where Price sells new cars and trucks in Prattville.
only Stivers has 0% APR financing for up to 36 months during the Make This the Summer event. Upgrade to Grand Cherokee, Wrangler, Gladiator, or Compass with no interest financing for 3 years for a limited time at
Stivers, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, where Price sells new cars and trucks in Prattville.
Welcome back, Prattville Lions Nation. You are tuned into the Coach J.B. Wallace Show. We thank you for tuning in, being part of the show tonight. Well, Coach, we have come up to the part of the show. We didn't get to do it last week because we had to have a game in place so that we could recognize a Pepsi Buffalo Rock Player of the Week. Will you tell us a little bit about the young man that was awarded that recognition this week?
Yeah, starting off, man, he's a 3-year starter for us. He's been starting for us since he was a sophomore. Man, hard worker. Does everything the right way, high character guy, heck of an athlete. He's playing multiple positions for us this year and actually made plays at all of them. That last interception that we didn't get, he actually broke on the ball. He didn't catch it, but he really deflected it. He got the PBU so our other DB can get the interception. So he made plays at running back, at receiver, and at safety. So we're excited about this year and how it's going for him. But this week, Pepsi Buffalo Rock Player of the Game is KJ Blue.
KJ Blue, congratulations, buddy. Here's your plaque picture there. Congratulations on that, man. Let's walk through last week's game. I mean, it's a long off season. You finally got to take it onto the field and play against some other guys. What was it like last week?
It felt good.
Yeah.
Get out there on the field.
Sure.
Yes, sir. It's been a long summer.
Yeah. So, I mean, Coach mentioned it. You were in several different spots on the field. I mean, what was that like? Because traditionally you're a wide receiver. Yeah, hold that and just keep it close to your chin so it'll hear you real good. So traditionally, I've known you as a wide receiver, but man, you were all over the field last week. How was that, playing some different roles?
Felt great,
Yeah.
Just get to play all around the field, help the team out, do as much as I can.
So what you're telling me is if they call your name, you're ready to step up and go?
Yes, sir.
All right. I got a question. I was hanging out at practice yesterday, and y'all usually end with some offense-defense contest. It only took one play. Who ended it yesterday?
It was me.
Hey, all right. I saw that, Coach Dickerson. I mean, and I told Coach Dickerson I had a different angle than he had. The ball was right there, but you went and got it. Like it didn't just come to you. It was a great play. So congratulations on that. The quarterback had nothing to do with it. Okay, that guy over there had nothing to do with it. He's not even listening. He didn't hear. So, all right, 3-year starter. I mean, tell us a little bit about your journey through the Prattville program. What that's been like.
It been a kind of I'd say it been pretty hard.
Yeah.
Coming up, you know.
Sure.
Had to work to get my position.
That's right.
And it was just rough coming
Yeah.
up.
Well, and there's a fella, I don't know, Prattville's had some great receivers over the years. I mean, when you talk about Justin Alberts, the Moncriefs, you know, things like that, a guy last name Shanks that was kind of you overlapped with him for a year, didn't you, or 1 year?
1 year.
Yeah, so what was that relationship like? I mean, he's a pretty good one. Did he kind of invest in you, help you out? I mean, play a role in your ability?
Yes, sir, he did. He played a big role in
Yeah.
my ability for real.
Yeah, that's awesome. So with playing a lot of different spots last week, what's your favorite? Is it still receiver, or did you enjoy one of those other ones?
It's still receiver, but I enjoy playing
Bring
the
the
other
mic
ones.
up just a little. That's perfect, buddy. Oh, you're good. And why?
Receiver, I've been playing it my whole life. I can't let it go like that.
Okay.
But the other positions, I'm an athlete. I gotta play them.
There you go. That's awesome. Well, that's fantastic. All right, let's shift different gears just a little bit. We're getting some Facebook messages. Not really. I made that up. But the ladies want to know: do they have a chance right now, or are you sewed up at the moment?
I'm sewed up right now.
Okay, so there's a special lady. All the rest of them that are okay. Sorry, ladies. This no chance for you. He's a one-woman man. All right. So let me ask you this: favorite movie of all time? What's your favorite movie?
I'll probably say Bad Boys.
Bad Boy. All right. Any particular, like the whole series? Any particular one of them?
I say the first one.
The first one's always the best one, right?
Yes, sir.
That's cool. All right. So when you're riding over to the stadium on the bus, who's on your phone? I mean, who you listening to? Who you playing?
I say Rod Wave.
Okay, Rod Wave. Okay. And so I guess he was in the locker room with y'all last week. But when DJ Haynes is bringing it in the locker room, what's your favorite? What's he playing that you love? Because he stays up on what the top stuff is.
I say it was a song like Body in the Air, something like that. I don't know.
Okay, but it helps you out.
Yes, sir.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, yeah, we need to pause for a brief station identification. We'll be right back with you on the Coach JB Wallace Show. JB Wallace Show.
WDXX, Selma, Prattville, home of Larry Puckett Chevrolet. For the customers, do the talking.
Dixie Country.
All right, welcome back. Now, you kind of remind me a little bit, personality-wise, of Cam Shanks. We were talking about him earlier. Quiet guy, soft-spoken, but he was a quiet leader. What's your thoughts on, I mean, like it or not, you're a leader on this team. What do you think about that role as a leader, what that means?
I like the role of being a leader.
Yeah?
You got to step up.
Yeah.
I like it.
Do you ever find yourself the opportunity to maybe invest in those guys coming behind you? Because, I mean, there's some wide receivers that people are really excited about in that freshman and sophomore class. Are you able to kind of, not teach them, but kind of show them the way that you've been a little bit?
Yes, sir. I say, I play a big role in helping them and getting their routes and helping them with all this stuff.
That's fantastic. Well, Coach Wallace, why don't you talk about this young man just a little bit more?
You know, when he was a sophomore and he overlapped with Shanks, you mentioned that. You know, that's the first thing that I noticed, the similarities between the two, and personality and a lot of that kind of stuff. And the one thing that stood out to me, and I don't know if you remember, we were on the coach's show and they were talking about how excited they were to block for each other.
Yeah.
And that's the first thing I knew. I watched KJ when he was a freshman, and I saw him performing as a freshman. But then I didn't know that he was such a dedicated blocker. I mean, he's just as excited when the ball's not in his hand when his teammates got the ball than it is when he's got the ball. So, you know, that's a team first kind of guy to me. You know, a guy that'll block for his team and do all those things and the dirty work that nobody wants to do. He steps up, and he's been doing that since he was a sophomore, and he's doing it now. But, you know, a lot of things that we're doing, you know, we build a lot of things for him. You know, so he gets the ball in his hand, he makes stuff happen.
That's fun, and again, that reminds me of that Shanks young man too.
Yeah, which he plays tonight, by the way.
Hey, that's right. I'm about to catch them on TV. We were talking about that earlier today.
Yeah.
Well, KJ, congratulations, man. I wish you much luck and success tomorrow night, but throughout the rest of the year and through your career, buddy. Thank you so much for being a part of the show tonight.
Yes, sir.
All right, Coach, we got a minute, Stacy. Are we good, or you want to break? Keep going. I tricked him. Well, while he's looking at that, Coach, I want to reach back, and I think there was a couple of games on Monday this week for JV freshmen. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, we had a JV and freshman game on Monday, which we're playing those home games at Marbury High School. And, man, they've done a lot of work at Marbury High School, too, as far as turfing the field and all that. That's a great, you know, campus, great facility and all that to play. But our freshmen played against Marbury, and they had a huge win Monday night, 41-7. Those guys, man, they've been practicing with us in the summer. They've been working out with us all year, and to see them come out and have fun and rally together and have some success, that was great. A lot of players stepped up there that really put themselves on the radar Monday night. After that game, our JV played versus Carver, and that was a slugfest. That was literally a 4-quarter game. We fell a little short there. It was 14-6, JV versus Carver. But, a lot of guys stepped up. We actually, and every year is like this, during that JV game, we're going to find a player or two that's going to find his way in the varsity rotation. And we found a guy that we put him in a different position, just because we needed it at the moment. And, man, it's like he's been there all along.
Shined a little bit.
Yeah, so I can't wait to see us, get him included into the game plan eventually and see him, grow.
That's fantastic. So 1-1 on the night. And again, we're thankful that Marbury would allow us. Of course, it's in the same county. They're going to do that. But so thankful that they allow us to come out and use that for JV, for freshmen, also for flag football.
Yes,
playing out there as well. So big thanks to them. Well, fans, we're so glad that you have tuned in tonight. Those of you listening to us on the radio on Dixie Country 100.1. And again, we got a bunch of the Lions Nation right here at El Patron Restaurant, where we're coming to you live. If you're out and about in town, we've still got a good bit of Coach J.B. Wallace show left. So stop on in, enjoy some dinner, and meet some Lions and some coaching staff. We'll have a lot of fun. Well, listen, you are tuned into the Coach J.B. Wallace Show. We'll be right back after this break.
Primal Farm Center's your headquarters for hunting season. Dove season's around the corner.
Durbin.
Hey guys, it's Chris Britton, host of the Coach J.B. Wallace Show. We're so excited to be coming to you live each week from my favorite Mexican restaurant, El Patron Mexican Grill, at 2152 Cobbs Ford Road, right across the street from Larry Puckett Chevrolet. They got a huge menu with all of your favorite authentic Mexican dishes. My kids love it. In fact, they get a free drink with their kids' meal, so that's an awesome perk. If you go on a Sunday after church, bring your bulletin with you, get a 10% discount. My personal favorite is the chicken chimichanga. It's fantastic. El Patron Mexican Grill in Prattville.
For well over 50 years, the River region has depended on Arrow Pest Control, which has grown to be one of the largest and most respected pest control science leaders in the area. Pest control is a science that eliminates pests that invade and potentially damage your property. They use only the top-rated pest control products, including the Centricon Termite Colony Elimination System. Arrow Pest Control was built on customer service and satisfaction, and that's still #1 today. Call us, 334-365-4610, and find out about mosquito control. Arrow, your best shot for pest control.
It's the Make This the Summer event at Stivers, and no payments until November. New Ram 2500s, $20,000 off. Or new Ram 1500 Bighorns, get $13,000 off. Only at
Stivers, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, where Price sells new cars and trucks in Prattville.
Only Stivers has 0% APR financing for up to 36 months during the Make This the Summer event. Upgrade to Grand Cherokee, Wrangler, Gladiator, or Compass with no interest financing for 3 years for a limited time at
Stivers, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, where Price sells new cars and trucks in Prattville.
Welcome back, Lions Nation. You're tuned into the Coach J.B. Wallace Show on Dixie Country 100.1. Also watching us on Facebook Live with Prattville Alive. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Chris Britton, your host for the Coach J.B. Wallace Show. And Coach, it's always a treat each week to get to know some of your coaching staff. Now we've got a guy that's no stranger. He's new to the staff, but he's not new to the staff all at the same time. Talk a little bit about this guy to my right.
Yeah, to your right is our offensive coordinator, Coach Brian Dickerson. When we first came to Prattville in 2021, he came as well. He was offensive coordinator then. He and I coached together for a long time. We were at Marbury together and worked well. When we went there and man, we had a great time there. He and I coached together in Florence, and it was kind of something that came in fruition. We discussed it years ago. We kind of discussed that this was going to happen. We're going to be together one way or another. Be it I'm on his staff or he's on mine, but we're going to come together and we're going to coach. And it ended up working out. But, man, he's a guy he was a head coach. He's got head coaching experience. So the experience he's bringing to the table now, being able to see some things that I might need to know, that he just goes and handles stuff because he knows it needs to be handled. And that's his mindset, man. He's attention to detail kind of guy. Passionate about the game, passionate about relationships and kids, man, and that's the most important thing.
Remembering your why. Why'd you do it?
Exactly,
Kids,
and I think that's what makes him a great coach. And but we're glad to have him back and have him on the board. But that's Coach Brian Dickerson.
Well, Coach Dickerson, welcome to the Coach J.B. Wallace Show. Good to have you here tonight.
Thank you.
Why don't you take us a little bit through your coaching history? Where'd you get started? What have been some stops along the way?
Oh man, a long ride.
Yeah.
This is actually year 15 for me. I actually started back in 2010 at Carver Birmingham, and then I went the next year I was at John Carroll. I spent 2 years after that at Opp, kind of really getting my teaching and coaching career under me, and then I got the call from Coach Wallace to come to Florence. Yeah. And me and him have been together ever since. We were there at Florence for those 4 years. Then we separated for a year. He went to Pike Road. I went to Pike Road. He went to Prattville, and then we ended up at Marbury, and then we come to Prattville and get this thing rolling, and that opened up a door that I said I wanted, and I really enjoyed the opportunity to be a head coach. It was great, but it's still nothing like being in the jungle. So I went to Sheffield, did that for 2 years, and when that phone call came, he said, "Hey, are you interested?" I said, "What day can I come back home?" And so, I mean, I always said, if I'm going to work for anybody else, he's going to be a guy that I consider one of my closest friends in the world. We really do this thing together, and you can trust him at his word, and he can take me at mine, and I want to make sure I always do what's best for ourselves in the program.
Yeah, well, welcome back. Like I said, it's so good to have you back on the staff, and I know the kids are enjoying that. Why don't you talk about last week's performance? I want to hear your perspective on it, just on the offensive side. Coach Wallace told us a bunch about it, but tell us about some highlights and things you remember.
It was exciting just being back in that atmosphere.
Yeah.
People that have not been away from Prattville, and they don't understand the love and the excitement that comes to the stadium when the
It's a big
lines come in. and just having that adrenaline rush again felt great. And our kids prepared so well.
Yeah.
This isn't something we started doing in the summer. When I got back here in February, that process started. And I said, hey, man, we're going to be disciplined, we're going to be fast, we're going to be physical, and we're going to do it together. I said, we have what it takes in this group to go as far as we want to go. And those kids believed in it, and even when things got kind of slow starting the other night, they never wavered. Yeah. And so from our offensive line, and we've had some staff changes even when I got back. I've added, we brought in a new O-line coach that was going to come in and be our freshman coach, but then when Coach Myers got promoted to take opportunity at the college level, he stepped right in. Coach Goebel's done a heck of a job with those guys, and they believe in him and they believe in what we're doing. They brought in Coach Page to coach running backs and help with our strength program, and then we already had, everybody knows Smooth and Coach Warren have been here doing a heck of a job with the receivers. Yeah. And it was so good just to have Warren understood. He's worked with me since 2019 at Marbury. And then so everything just kind of came together, and there's no question about people doing their job at a high level and us having trust in each other to go get it done. And having Gavin Regan in my room 3 years ago when he was a freshman, and then being able to coach him his senior year is very special for me.
Well, it's like you've come back and everybody's already speaking the same language. There's no change, because a lot of times that is a hurdle to get over with a new coordinator. I don't think it's been like that, has it?
Right. And it was, hey, let's hit the ground running. Hey, we're going to make some changes, but you already know what you know, so let's add on to those things. And we just kind of really believed in each other. They understand the standard. And something crazy, because it's crazy, those boys every afternoon before practice, they come sit in my office before we have a meeting, and they just want to talk. And those are relationships that last a lifetime.
That's huge.
And so when they're coming in and they're spending those times, and then we're spending extra time watching film, they're not playing because, yes, they're playing for the Power P like they all do, right, but they're playing for our relationship. Yeah. And they say, Coach, there's no way we're going to let you down. I say, guys, I'm always saying prepared. I'm never going to let you down.
Yeah. Well, and I've heard Coach Wallace say it. I've heard you say it. If it's more important to you to play for the guy beside you, then you're going to be better off than you would have playing for the guy inside that jersey.
Definitely. Yeah. And that just goes a long way of caring for the other guys, and you trust them to do their job. And I mean, we didn't have the offensive line turning around looking at the quarterbacks and the running backs. They knew they had a job to do, and they trust that Hawks named Tristan Blackman running behind them. Yeah. And they're going to do a good job. And when we can get the ball to the skill guys we have with that offensive line, they're a really good group together, and I'm looking forward to seeing them grow and just continue to be a better version of themselves every day. And we're challenging them. And I tell them, hey, Monday through Thursday is going to be unrealistic, so Friday's easy. Yeah. And so they're starting to really buy into those things. And that Fast 48 slogan is not a slogan, it's a way of life for us. Yeah. And so they really buy into that, and we want to have that 4th and 1 mentality. Hey, we're going to be physical. Hey, you're not going to stop us and be better at being us than we are.
That's right.
And so they just come out, and we want to take that into everything we do, and just not just going through the motions, but really living it. Because I say, like I told them this morning when we got done, I said, guys, you never know when it's over. Yeah. And so this is going to go by a lot faster than what you think. So make sure you hold on to every single snap, every practice, every walkthrough, and so we can go and we can maximize every opportunity.
That's one of the fun things listening to the game last week. There were a couple of times where, we maybe fell down by, 10 points, maybe a couple of touchdowns, but there was never any quit. There was never any ducking back. I didn't hear anybody talking about pointing fingers. They just kept focused. We will win this game.
Definitely. And that's funny that you say that. We went through fall camp and everything. We talked about one guy. It was, hey, we're one guy away from making a big play. We're one guy away from being perfect right here. So, and we were able to, right before halftime, we went down and we had that big drive to go and finish it and cut it to one score right there. And then we come back and we made a couple of adjustments and we were on fire.
Yeah.
And number one, the coaches give me the proper information so that I can get us into the right call. And those kids are going out and playing hard. And the Swiss Army knife from KJ Blue, he's going to come out and he's going to make plays. And we just spread the ball around. I told these guys, I said, hey, guys, if you play fast, you play hard, you will get the ball.
Yeah.
I said, but you got to do it together, and it's got to be about more than just you. I said, the stats will come because people recruit winners. And so we're winners together. And Gavin does a heck of a job taking what the defense gives him and just believing in what we're doing. I was like, don't overthink the call. Just do what we tell you to do. And just being able to play fast. And the faster we play, the more of an opportunity it gives us to be successful is what we feel like.
That's fantastic. All right, so you personally, or not personally, but philosophy-wise, I mean, some guys are, I'm a run guy, I'm a pass guy, I'm a balance guy, I'm a whatever the card, the hand that was dealt to me, I'm going to play to those guys. How would you define yourself or describe yourself?
We're going to force the tempo, number one.
Yeah.
And so now we look at leverage, grass, and numbers, really.
Yeah.
And so what's the leverage that the defense is giving us? Because we're gonna be able to throw out underneath stuff. All right, we're going to be able to run the football, and we're going to take our shots. And you got to get ready to do it every 17 seconds. And so I'm always trying to stay a couple plays ahead so that we can do the things that we have to do offensively. So I want to protect our defense. And out of our 8 goals last week, we hit 5 or 6 of those. And so being able to hit those, and the number one thing on my board is no pre-snap penalties. And so we really did a really good job of that.
That's big.
And we didn't turn the ball over, thank God, and because we started every day with ball security. And because we tell them, hey, the ball is the game. You can't win the game if you don't have the ball. So being able to do that, and we still want to be better on third down, but when we got in the fourth quarter, that fourth quarter program that we do, there was no quit in it. And it turned over into what we needed it to be. When they called that timeout, and they looked at me, and I called the play, and they knew exactly what was going to happen. I didn't know it was going to go 65, but I knew we were going to get the first down. And so that's something that was huge, and it was almost like deja vu, because I remember 2021 we go down to Theodore, and we're in a very similar situation, and we fumbled that ball.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, hey, let's go finish this time. We've been here before.
Yeah.
And so now they understand, and now those kids know how to win.
Yeah.
They beat a quality football team in a close game. So now we can go and do those things, and we're one step away from hitting a couple more deep balls and really putting that thing away earlier.
Yeah.
And so we want to make sure we continue to get better in every aspect of our game, because, like I tell them, between week 1 and week 2 is where you get the most improvement.
Yeah.
And so if we do those things, we can steady improve every week, and we don't take anybody for granted. I said, hey, yes, it's Stanhope, but it's still a faceless opponent. We want to go win. We want to go dominate.
Fantastic. Well, Coach Wallace, I know you talked about this guy a little bit. Obviously, there's a great relationship here. Talk about him a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, and we talked about how we started coaching together our first year when we were at Florence, but man, this goes way back. He was my college I say roommate. I mean, we lived beside each other, so we were on the same college football team, and built a great relationship there as teammates, and that's where the brotherhood starts. So, he's not only do I see him as a great friend, but I mean, he's like a brother. I mean, I trust him, and man, he's passionate about what he does. I won't even talk about where he played high school ball, but let's just say he loves being in the jungle now. We won't discuss where he played high school ball.
You got to tell me that off the air.
Yeah, we'll tell you that off the air.
Okay. So the fan out watching or listening, they don't get to hear that.
No. Yeah.
Well, fans, we are so glad that you are tuned in to the Coach J.B. Wallace Show tonight. Coach Dickerson, thanks for being a part of the show as well. We thank those of you listening to us on Dixie Country 100.1. Come visit us. We're at El Patron Mexican Restaurant right here in Prattville on Cobbs Ford Road. Thanks to those of you watching us on the Prattville Live Network as well. You're listening to the Coach J.B. Wallace Show. We'll be right back right after this break.
Hey guys, it's Chris Britton, host of the Coach.
Durbin Auto Parts on South Memorial Drive is proud to be a supporter of Prattville Lions Athletics. As your locally owned CarQuest dealer, the Durbin family assures you that they'll get the right parts the first time. They also carry the full line of steel power equipment and die-hard batteries. When you do business with Durbin Auto Parts, your money stays in Prattville so they can support the local community and great programs like Prattville Lions Athletics. Durbin Auto Parts, 948 South Memorial Drive, Prattville.
Think local. Think of all the skill and talent found right here in our community. Hands that build, hands that feed, teach, protect, and hands that heal. Guardian Credit Union reaches out to people just like you. Handling loans for new cars, opening doors to new homes, saying yes to fun and adventure. When you need a strong, steady financial hand, think local. Think Guardian.
It's the Make This the Summer event at Stivers and no payments until November. New Ram 2500s, $20,000 off. Or new Ram 1500 Bighorns, get $13,000 off. Only at
Stivers, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, where Price sells new cars and trucks in Prattville.
Only Stivers has 0% APR financing for up to 36 months during the Make This the Summer event. Upgrade to Grand Cherokee, Wrangler, Gladiator, or Compass with no interest financing for 3 years for a limited time at
Stivers, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, where Price sells new cars and trucks in Prattville.
Welcome back, Prattville Lions Nation. We're so glad that you're tuned into the Coach J.B. Wallace Show. I'm your host, Chris Britton, and we're so glad that you are a part of the show this evening. Well, Coach, we talked about last week's game, a little bit of the prep. We'll get to tomorrow night in a minute. But tragedy struck in high school football last week with a young man over at Morgan Academy in Selma. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that and your whatever you'd like to say in regard to that.
Yeah, man, it was definitely a tragic event with that young man, Taylor, I think.
Yeah, Caden Taylor.
Taylor, yeah, man, it was tragic. That's something that as a parent, as a coach, that's something that, you know, I don't think anyone wants to go through. You know, you don't want to deal with it. You know, as a coach, I know we do a lot of training for incidents like that. You know, if this happens, this is how you respond, because it could be a number of things. But man, you know, when I saw the news and I saw that on there, man, my heart goes out to that family. It goes out to his parents, the school, the community, because that's a tough situation.
Oh, it makes you think, what if it was mine? You know, you can't help but internalize that.
Correct. And I don't know all the details to it, you know, on how it happened, you know, but I'm certain, you know, that whatever was the case, I'm certain there's a lot to be learned from that, you know, going forward, and that's things like that you got to take it serious, you know, because I know parents entrust us with their kids and trust us to take care of their youngins, and you know, I definitely don't take that lightly, and I don't think any coach does.
Yeah, and it's a definite tragedy, and you know, it's a terrible thing that happened. Now, I don't know a whole lot about it either. I've seen a few Facebook posts, and what I can see already, just out of a statement from the family and some close friends, I see a bit of a testimony, even a glory to God type thing going on through it. So while it doesn't return a young man whose life was lost, but gosh, I guess I use the word not even silver lining, but a positive in the midst of that storm. Have you seen some stuff like that as well?
Yeah, you know, and you never know until these things happen, but I can just tell from some of the posts I saw how many people that he touched, how many people that he affected, and you know, just to read some of the things that were posted about him, man, I mean, he seemed to be a tremendous young man, and he seemed to be contagious with how he, you know, kind of just elaborate with people and been around people. And I could tell that he was a leader, and I can tell he's just a great overall kid, man.
Yeah. Well, our hearts, our thoughts, our prayers are with that school and obviously with that family as well, and we hate that happened, and just pray for the best and for quick healing for that program, for those families, everybody involved there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, Coach, as we shift our gears back here, obviously it's been a week of preparation for, and like you said, every week is the Super Bowl, every week is the biggest game, but there's a little extra feel to it because of the rivalry in this one.
Right. Yeah, that's right across the interstate.
Yeah.
You know, as coaches, as players, you know, you live with the people across the interstate.
Yeah.
You live with them. And you grew up playing Little League with them if you were a player. You grew up doing everything with them. So this game's got a lot riding on it.
Yeah.
And then guess what? When you graduate high school, you're still going to be around them. I mean, most of the time they're family anyway.
Yeah.
So there's a lot riding on this game, and it's been that way, man. But it makes for great high school football.
Yeah.
It makes for a great game, you know, when you have a rivalry like this, and they want to beat us just as bad as we want to beat them. So
Yeah.
it's all about who can put the best product on the field and get it done.
That's right. So week of preparation, what's practice been like? I mean, what's been the attitude? What's been the energy level? How's it been?
Energy's been great, man.
Yeah.
I think one of the turning points so far that I think we've done when we had the overnight camp or whatever, and our team kind of just developed into another mindset for a team, and they've taken that and they run with it. And the biggest thing that I challenged them to have fun. You know, we talk discipline all the time. We talk discipline in January. We talked about, you know, the process and how to do things and hard work, but then let's have fun, you know, because I think the little things that they were doing, you know, it shows that the lessons they were learning from coaches and from the program itself, it was seeping in and they were getting better there. But, you know, let's have fun in the process. You know, I told them I have a problem when you make a big time play on Friday night and you ain't celebrating.
Yeah.
Now there's a way to do everything. You celebrate with your teammates. But man, you have fun. You work hard so you can celebrate in those moments. And so that's been the energy level, man. They've been having fun and they've been getting out, getting work done. And I was so pleased to see them this morning at practice, just how they handle things. So business-like, but then they were having fun, and the energy was there. I mean, as you can see, man, these guys, you can see here, they have fun being around each other. And that's one thing about this
they
group.
like each other.
Oh, yeah. It's obvious, man. And just like you see them in here, they're like that all the time. And that's what I want as a coach. I want our team to have fun. And, you know, the D-line came out with us tonight, but you see other positions sprinkling in. I mean, they spend time. You see one, you see 20.
There's receivers, there's quarterbacks, there's everybody.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I like as a team. You know, those guys getting out and being able to enjoy each other and playing as a family, because we are family.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, tomorrow night, obviously, the focus is on that team from on the other side of the interstate, Stanhope Elmore, the Mustangs. What are we going to see out of there? Again, not much film, but what do you see? I've heard some big numbers out of the running back last week, and they're a really good ball game with him out of your previous school, Marbury, last week. What are we looking for?
Well, I'll say this, and I'm going to give hats off to Marbury. Marbury played a hard game.
I heard they played excellent. Yeah,
they went after him now, and you know, just to watch that and see where that program has come. They competed against a opponent like that, and but they got after him pretty good. But you know, those athletes at Stanhope, you know, they're a little different. So we got our hands full with that running back.
Yeah.
You know, just looking at the film and kind of just, I'll say, reading the tea leaves a little bit. I think it's going to be a smash mouth type of night. You know, I think they're going to get in some formations, and you're not going to know who's going to have the ball, the quarterback or the running back, something familiar that we've seen in the past from a school. And I think that's the kind of game that we're going to have to play, you know, coach against.
Yeah.
You know, I think they're going to try to shorten the game. They're going to, you know, play power football. They're going to run power counter, and they're going to dare us to stop it. And that's what it boils down to. So we've challenged our guys all week to stop that kind of play, you know, stop that kind of mindset. And they got athletes, man. A quarterback, he's dangerous when that ball's in his hand. He's dangerous. So, you know, just being able to coach our guys up and having eye discipline. You got to have eye discipline because they're going to give you some eye candy, and sometimes you got to trust what you see. You know, if you trust what you see, you're going to be in position. So teaching our guys to do that, and they've done a great job. That's what it's going to take. Defensively, man, you know, they're going to, you know, probably play a bear type of front where they're going to try to stop the run. They want to force the ball in the air. I think that's the approach that they're going to take from what I can see on film. You know, they're going to dare us to throw it. And but you know, I know Coach Dickerson. I know, you know, we build this thing on running the ball, and so we got to find a way to move the chains and run the ball. But you know, it's one of those situations to where we don't get stops on defense. You know, then that game's going to go. You know, it's going to end pretty quick because I feel certain that they're going to run the ball.
Yeah. All right, so it is a road game, but ironically, it's a little bit closer than our home games this year. easy drive is what I'm getting at for the fans to get over there tomorrow night. What does that mean to have a big crowd show up?
Well, I'll say this, and some people have commented on it, but they're exactly right. You know, this game is closer to us than our home game for this year.
Right.
So, man, you know, and Stanhope game, I already know that, you know, Pratt was going to travel well for that. I know our community is going to come out and support these guys. They always do, especially a game like this, but I want to challenge our fans to have more people at the game than they have at the game.
Yeah.
You know, I want to make that our home environment. So, you know, I want our fans to come there, and let's make that our home field as well. You know, come loud, come proud, and our guys are going to work hard for you, and they're going to play hard for you.
We're taking the jungle on the road all year.
Yes, sir.
Tomorrow night's just a little bit closer.
It's just a little closer, you know. So that's what we're looking for, man. That's the expectation that we're challenging the community.
Yeah.
To come in there and pack it out.
That's awesome. Briefly, walk us through game day, starting in the morning. I know pep rally or breakfast, pep rally. What all's going on tomorrow?
Yeah, we have prayer breakfast tomorrow at Glenwood Baptist Church, man. And
That's James Jackson,
yes,
John
sir.
Block, those guys.
Yes, sir. And they've been there for us as well as far as cooking for our team during camp and all that. We really appreciate Glenwood. But we'll go prayer breakfast there. Then we have a pep rally in the morning. Just speaking to Miss Jennifer about it, and she's already wired.
Got the plan ready.
Oh, yeah. So, you know, she makes sure I'm on point with that. So, pep rally. We'll have a couple walkthrough and meetings with the guys. They'll probably take, you know, we do a little test or whatever they have to take. And then they got to go and they got to be a great student for a few hours. And that's the most important part. They got to be a great student and eliminate, as Coach Page talks to them all the time, eliminate emotional distractions. You know, eliminate those distractions because they're out there. You got to stay focused. And then from there, we'll go to pregame meal. We'll go through our pregame process. The next thing you know, we're going to be on the bus ready to head to Millbrook.
Yeah. And get on the field, get working, and the lights go on. Kick off at 7. Need the Lion Nation to come out.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Man. Well, fans, we are so glad that you've joined us tonight for the Coach J.B. Wallace Show. It's been a joy to bring the show to you. Thanks to Coach Dickerson for coming by. Congratulations to KJ Blue being the Pepsi Buffalo Rock Player of the Week. Also, all the other sponsors, and we didn't touch on them tonight. I'll make sure we hit that next week, or do you want to?
I can do it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I want to thank our gold sponsors, Guthrie's. Guthrie's been very supportive of our program. We're really thankful for them. We're thankful for TNT Fireworks for being a gold sponsor. We're also thankful for Stivers for always stepping in and supporting our program, doing what they can. I want to thank Durbin Auto for everything they do. You know, those are our gold sponsors and our silver sponsors, and we're very appreciative of them.
Yeah, and this doesn't just happen. It takes a lot of money to make this program go, and I know, very thankful for those folks.
Yes, sir. It does.
I'm glad you were able to bring that up. Well, fans, again, thank you for being a part of the show so much tonight. We'll look forward to seeing you across the interstate tomorrow night over at Stanhope Elmore as the Lions take on the Mustangs. Help them cheer on to a Lion victory tomorrow night. Well, fans, thanks for being here on Dixie Country 100.1 and also on the Prattville Live Network. You've been listening to the Coach J.B. Wallace Show. We'll see you next week.
Hey guys, it's Chris Britton, host of the Coach J.B. Wallace Show. We're so excited to be coming to you live each week from my favorite Mexican restaurant, El Patron Mexican Grill, at 2152 Cobbs Ford Road, right across the street from Larry Puckett Chevrolet. They got a huge menu with all of your favorite authentic Mexican dishes. My kids love it. In fact, they get a free drink with their kids' meal, so that's an awesome perk. If you go on a Sunday after church, bring your bulletin with you, you get a 10% discount. My personal favorite is the chicken chimichanga. It's fantastic. El Patron Mexican Grill in Prattville.